Broadcasting from the Red Bed Plains, you are now listening to Through the Prairie Smoke.
How's it going, guys? How's everybody doing?
Great. It's chilly outside. It's just wonderful.
It is.
It's sunny over here, boys and
It
girls.
is sunny over here. Hopefully it's the beginning of fall
Yes.
for us
Yes.
here. Because these 90s in October just don't sit well with me.
Can you hear me?
What?
Can you hear me?
Kinda.
Over here? Over here?
Can you hear me
Not
too
really.
much?
No.
Should we move it a little bit?
This is not ideal, what I have set up. You're supposed to have your own microphone. But
That's
I
okay. You
can't
tried.
I can't get my computer to see it. Just period, the end. So, we're going to share. Are we ready to get started?
Sure.
There's a voice here that's
And
not
there's-
usually here.
You may have noticed a voice. We have a special guest today.
My name's Dustin.
No, Val. We're glad you're here.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
Val, I don't know how you know these guys.
Okay, well, I know these guys because we all went
Hold
to
on, it's none of her
school
business.
together. Yes, it is. She needs to know.
So you are a
So-
longtime listener, but you
Yes.
also happen to know
I
these guys.
happen to know them. They were a year younger than me in high school.
Mm-hmm.
Tyler and I were in speech and drama together, had the same speech and drama coach.
And band.
And band.
Mm-hmm.
I had
And
her for debate.
yes, you were in debate. I wrote
Didn't wanna
original
be in
oratories. From Kingfisher, lived there. My family's there. Tyler's dad's my landlord.
I was going to say, you must know Tyler's dad.
I know Dennis very well. He loves me.
So you work in a haunted building then?
I
So-
do.
Oh, okay.
I think you guys have been to the building next door
Mm-hmm.
to do one of your little podcasts with your dad.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, apparently the building I'm in's haunted as well.
Cool.
And now Justin's wife works in that same building as me.
Yeah.
So,
Cool.
but yeah, I'm just
Yep.
happy to be here. Just wanted to come hang out with you guys. I've listened to every show and I just wanted to be a part of it. Whether
We're-
y'all liked it or not. I kind of forced this because, can I say what we're talking about?
Absolutely. Yeah.
No,
Tell us what we're
please.
talking about.
Okay,
What are we
so
doing? No, I'm just kidding.
I am obsessed with vampires. I just always have been.
Mm-hmm.
I think it started in high school. And jokingly, was it the July 4th party? Maybe I mentioned, you guys should do a podcast about vampires. And
We don't care.
they didn't seem too excited. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, and I kind of kept pushing it.
It's
And then
kinda
Tyler messaged me out of the blue, probably 2 months, probably in September, and was like, we're going to do a podcast about vampires and you are going to be on it. And I just thought, oh my God, my friends do like me, even though they probably don't want to talk about vampires because it's such a broad range of, I mean, we could talk for hours and days about it all. But
Sure.
Well, I mean, the first one I was on was about fairies. That's not exactly a limited topic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
And
and,
there's-
that was really neat. I had never heard anything like that before
Yay.
about fairies.
Well, cool.
So that's about it.
You didn't bring this up, but you have a connection to vampire hunters in history, right?
Guys, I do.
Let's hear about your family history.
My family history and why I might be a vampire. I do hiss at the sun, but
There you go.
I do when it's 90 degrees in October. Okay, guys, here we go. So, we all know who John Wilkes Booth is. He shot Abraham Lincoln in the Ford Theater. My maiden name is Boots. Apparently, my family, back when that happened, was so ashamed that we changed our last name from Booth to Boots. So, I could be a descendant of John Wilkes Booth, who, if y'all didn't know, was a vampire. Did y'all know that?
Didn't know that either.
No.
Because of Abraham Lincoln, Vampire Slayer.
Oh.
I just clapped really loud in the mic. Sorry, I tried to build that up to be something so cool. And then Sarah goes, ow.
Because you got me.
I know. Well, I didn't know how much they told you, and I'm like, how do I say this?
We
to
didn't
where...
tell her anything.
I got, y'all.
I mean, I really am.
I
We
was
really
in
are
it.
related to Chumbo's Booth, unfortunately. But he,
Is that why you like play so much?
Yeah, she's
it is.
all
He
about
is
the
a
theater.
state. He was an actor.
Okay, I'm gonna let you pick. So,
Well,
Talk to me about
I'll
This
talk
is an
to you about it
audio
while I have
medium,
it.
so you have to tell us what we're doing.
Val has chose to smoke a cigar over you guys'
Hot leaves.
hot leaves.
Yeah,
Because she has recognized
the
that
superiority.
cigars are superior.
This is an audio
to-
medium, but I want you guys to know that Val is head in hands, shaking her head.
I've had one cigar in my life, maybe two. But I wanted the whole experience.
Mm-hmm.
And
I
so she
did
went with the
text-
superior.
the supreme being of
Yeah.
cigars. And I texted him and said, do you think there's vampire-themed cigars? And if so, could you get us one for the podcast?
Yeah.
And he did.
Yes,
Yep,
of
I
course he
looked
did.
I actually did look for some. I did find some cool ones that were like dead on.
Oh, and they come with little
But
charms.
they were limited, and they had already been sold out, and I couldn't get a hold of them anyways. But there is a regular production cigar from Espinosa called the Murcielago, and that is, and I may be mispronouncing that in
course.
true fashion, but it means bat in
Okay.
Spanish. This one right here, Val, I'm showing her two cigars.
Okay.
These are two different.
And one's real big and one's
Okay,
real small.
this one is the Murcielago, the bat.
Okay.
Okay, that's the regular production one. This is a regular production now, but this is Cigars Daily Edition's team up with Espinosa, and they call it the Echo Hell. So, I've had both, so it doesn't matter to
Oh,
me
okay.
which one.
I was going to
So,
say, you can
you
pick.
smoke whichever one, or pick which one you think's fancy.
Well,
Okay, also,
Being
while
as
she's doing that, yeah, go
how
ahead.
I am
Yeah.
with a certain sports team. I know y'all don't talk about sports.
Well,
And I shouldn't right now because
No, that's
my
not.
team is terrible.
Not.
But I'm going to go
I
with
know
the
what you're talking
orange
about.
bat.
Yep.
And only you will understand
Yep.
why.
I have an inkling.
Please don't kick me out already, sir.
boomer.
So,
What'd you say?
I said boomer.
yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
I
so-
forgot.
so-
You're from Norman.
Uh-huh.
Oh, man.
They're just a bunch of
Oh,
traitors
and look
anyways.
at
They just-
Sarah.
they
You
just
can
left
tell she
anyway.
is a
is
supreme
super-
sports fan. Look
Yeah.
at how excited she is right now. We're talking about sports.
Yeah.
I'm heated up.
She goes, oh, it's on now.
She's showing her color.
Yep. It's an audio medium, so you guys cannot tell that I have a football jersey on right now. It says Boomer on the front.
And on the back it says, "Hook 'em horns."
Oh
My God.
my god.
Those are fighting words.
Okay,
I don't know what any of this
Sorry.
means.
welcome back to
Sorry,
ESPN
guys.
2.
We should do our culture podcast.
It's
for us.
not pop
Sports.
culture.
Usually I'm outnumbered, but today it's kind of on. We're kind of balanced out now.
We're balanced
on
out.
the sports thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways. All right. So Val has chosen the Echo Hell from the Cigars Daily mashup with Espinosa. Can't tell you anything about it. It's a good cigar.
Well, let's
We'll
talk.
let her do it.
What's
Yeah.
on the label?
So yeah, okay. So anyways, on both of the cigars that I have, the label is the same. It is a bat, hence bat.
Mhm.
One of them is orange and white, and that is the Echo Hell, which is Val's pick. And then the other one is black and silver, but it has like a like if you do it in
I
the
see the
sunlight
iridescence.
here, it does that little hologram thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So, anyways, yeah, they're both a darker leaf. I think one of them's a San Andrea.
San Andreas?
Yes,
Yeah.
a Mexican wrapper, and I think
Andreas.
the other one is a dark Sumatra. They're darker cigars, is what I'm getting at, and they're strong. A little strong.
Okay.
So
Well, you know
Who's
me.
driving?
I'll probably take 2
Me.
puffs and then I'm
and,
then
and
I'm
then
done.
we'll sit there and I'll finish it off.
Who's
So,
driving?
anyways, you want me to get them?
Oh,
Well,
Yes, can you
yeah.
just do all that
I'll do
part
this
for me?
while
you got to
they
prep
talk
it.
about theirs.
Well, here's the ashtray for Val. Then
Oh yeah.
Thanks.
everybody gets a cigar ashtray that needs one.
There we go.
You're drinking something as well, Val. What do you got?
I
Oh,
am. I love coffee, guys. And
Mm-hmm.
I love iced coffee. I'm one of those people. I will drink iced coffee all year round. So I have an iced caramel macchiato. But the cool thing about this coffee is I got it from a local coffee shop in Kingfisher called Strange Brew Coffee House and Tea Room. It's a great place, guys. It's a really cool vibe. So yeah, if you're ever in Kingfisher, stop by Strange Brew.
and for my interest, they used to give away books there in the front. Do they still
Yes.
have a bookshelf there?
The
for-
bookshelf is in the back now.
Okay.
With their stage, which my daughter likes to run and jump on and sing.
Awesome.
It's
Is
very
it kind
cool.
of like a little free library situation, or
You want a book, you take a book. You
Right.
don't want a book, you can leave a book. Yeah.
and they're
Little-
all, you know, like spooky books. And
oh, so it's kind of themed.
yeah, it's kind of
Nice.
themed. It's you could probably find Frankenstein there.
Sarah, what have you got going on over there?
Well, I am back on my snowy owl bullshit.
They're
But-
still not a sponsor, the
They're
jerks.
still not a sponsor, you know. And here's the thing, guys. If you've been listening and you are interested in snowy owl tea, I will warn you, they have gone from tea sachets to all loose leaf. This one I drink in the fall, typically. It's called Ginger Snapped. It's ginger tea with oats and vanilla. And it says, ginger snapped for when you just can't even. Which totally describes my vibe these days.
I was gonna say that's perfect for you right now.
It is. 'Tis the season to be absolutely overbooked. Indulge in a nice cup of Not Today and enjoy the roasted bakery notes of ginger and spice alongside comforting vanilla.
Will you describe what's on the front of that pouch as well?
Oh, it's a possum and it's kind of freaking out, I guess.
Looks like he's irritated.
Pissed off possum on top of a ginger snap.
On top
Plate
of a ginger
snaps.
snap, and then is it Christmas lights wound
Christmas
around the
lights
top?
wrapped
Wrapped
all
in
around
Christmas
him.
lights.
Yes. You guys, this company, I love them so much. They just make me happy. Can I read the ingredients too while we're at it? You can cut this out, but I think it's cool.
She does it every time.
Oats, ginger, chicory. It's got chicory in it.
Oh yeah.
Which, that makes me happy. Allspice cinnamon, which is Dustin's favorite. Orange peel, organic vanilla extract, Himalayan sea salt.
How's the cigar, Val?
It's great.
Is it?
Yes.
Are you guys okay? What's going? Do I need to separate you
No,
two?
before Sarah, you were started talking about your tea, and the minute I handed it to Val, she puffed on it. I went, "It's strong,"
I did it too. It was a deep burn.
and I did.
Oh
It's just supposed to come into your mouth.
I know. Guys, I don't do this often.
Oh, I forgot to
Just wanted
tell
the
you.
experience.
Well,
How
you
to
got
smoke
it.
a cigar?
I did.
I forgot
They
to
told me
remind her you don't
before.
inhale it.
Right. Well, yeah, I just forgot. It's fine.
I
Guys,
almost ate yours, Tyler.
this is.
does look like
it looked like a
a
brownie.
baked good.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like that anymore. But this fresh tin that I just opened is similar to a cigar because this is from Warped Cigar, but it's their pipe tobacco. And for this year, it's the Haunting Cake. So, it is the finest Virginian leaf, and there are two capital A's right next to each other. And when you see that in
Double A?
tobacco, I don't know if you just say double A. So I'm going to go with double A because that's what I'd say.
It's not.
It's not A. Yeah. Finest Virginian leaf and double A Dominican Criollo.
Yeah.
Criollo. Let's read the atmosphere we're supposed to enjoy when
Heck
we
yeah.
have the smoke. A luxurious aroma, heady and vibrant, envelops you. Dark sweetness laced with tons of leather and subtle spice rises from a gentle ember, illuminating the surrounding darkness. As the tiny coal wanes, the fragrance lingers, its phantom tendrils curling, beckoning you further into the deepening shadows.
Tyler's voice is perfect for this.
Thank you so much. But anyway, that's what we're going for here. The haunting cake. So you don't just pull the cake out and shove it into your pipe. You got to break it up. But
It comes out looking like
a brownie.
an inch and a half thick chocolate brownie.
Yep. Probably I did this wrong in you're supposed to pop the tin and you're supposed to break it apart and then you're supposed to let it breathe.
Yeah.
But it's I'm just going to break it open. And
Have you lit it yet? How does
it's
it
lit.
taste?
It is correct in the tons of leather and subtle spice. That's what I get with this. We'll have to see about those lingering tendrils drawing us into the shadows. But
Should we pull you out if you start to get drawn in?
at the end,
Just let him take you.
He just creeps off.
When we go through the smoke, are we going to go through the tendrils?
it's probably the tendrils. Yeah, don't let them grab you. Before we get too far into our subject, thanks for bearing with us here, Val. I'd like to talk about things I got wrong last time.
Really?
And
Wait, guys, before you get started, that was funny. Val, you didn't even know you did. You start talking about things we got wrong last time, and me and Val are sharing a mic.
Yeah.
And she pushes it towards me.
Okay, so
I didn't mean anything by that.
So-
'cause I won't have any comments.
oh, because you didn't get anything
Well-
wrong last time.
Neither will I.
here's what I'm
I
learning.
don't mess up. No, I'm just kidding.
Here's what I'm learning from Val being on is that the next time Val comes on, we need to record it on YouTube. Because Val is full of visual gags.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Man, she came
Val,
prepared.
Val is my stage manager. She's also the bulldog when people are like, I don't want to do this play anymore. I'm ready to quit. I don't want to
Yeah.
come to
Does it happen
rehearsal.
every
She's the glue. Yeah.
And she was like, you will come here or I will come to your house and murder you.
But I say it with a smile.
Still scary, Val.
It'll be a nice murder.
The most
Come
pleasant
on,
murder
you know what you
provided.
signed up for. Come on.
She'll keep us in line. So,
God, we need it.
when we talked about the Hessians last time, Sarah, you asked if they were kind of like mercenaries.
Mercenaries, yeah.
And I said, yes, they are kind of like mercenaries. But while that is kind of true, it's not technically true. Because the Hessians, as a parent, you might give one of your children to the government to train as a soldier to then send out on behalf of the government.
So they weren't making money.
The soldiers were not.
themselves.
But
Fascinating.
the government was sending them out to fight these wars, training them and all that thing. So they were there on behalf of their country, their homeland, things like that. But they were not doing it for personal enrichment. It was to their homeland. They were not soldiers for hire. So, not quite mercenaries.
Nothing to lose our head about. My guys.
Oh my gosh.
Yay, Dustin.
I think we're ready to go through the smoke here. Val, we are extremely interested in what you have to present to us. As vampires are one of my top
He's such a jerk.
50 favorite
Oh, I know
things.
that.
Okay, wait a minute.
Top 50. I'm glad it's in
they
50.
are factually and for sure in my top 5.
Thank you.
They're not my number one,
Sarah.
you know, fairies,
That's okay.
but-
I know you're fairies. I know Tyler is aliens
Pop
and
culture
Dustin is
wise,
ghosts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm more of a contemporary vampire
Okay.
fan, so my vampire fandoms are all basically since the 90s, 1990s.
Awesome. That's when I got
But,
into them, was
yeah.
the 90s. So I always like to start off with a definition.
Oh, yeah.
So I wrote down from the Oxford Dictionary what they say a vampire is. It says it's a corpse in European folklore to leave its grave at night to drink the blood of the living by biting their necks with long pointed canine teeth. So the origin of this word is mid 18th century from the French. The Hungarian, I'm going to mispronounce a lot of stuff, guys. I'm just going to forewarn you now.
We're
So you
American.
guys will have to help me.
You want me to read them?
The Hungarian, I don't think I want you to.
I do.
I would want Sarah to, of all of you, to help me
This is
I
fair.
want Dustin to
pronounce
read it.
stuff. So from the Hungarian, it's vampire, which in Turkish means witch. It may have roots in the Turkish word uber and the Slavic word parati, which both mean to drink. So pretty much various cultures have their own versions of vampire-like beings. From Greece to China to Mesopotamia, all cultures seem to have some type of creature that does the same thing. I found in Mesopotamia, they believed the spirits of those who didn't receive a proper burial would come back as Ekimu, Ekimmu, which means snatcher, and they drained the life force and they spread death and sickness. In ancient Greece, there's tales of a creature called Vrykolakus that were believed to be reanimated corpses driven by a thirst for blood and revenge.
How interesting. So, corpses,
Yes.
and then they reanimate and they need blood.
Yes, they all have the same craving for blood or human essence, and that's how they
Yeah.
continue to be what they are.
When you think of vampire, Val, when someone says to you vampire, what's your go-to?
My go-to is Lestat from Interview with the Vampire.
Yeah, okay. From the movie
when
in the
they're all-
90s, right?
From the 90s,
Yeah.
1994,
Okay.
Interview with a Vampire. You know, they've become very romanticized and not how they were looked at back in the 1700s.
Of course.
Which was a decaying corpse that just walked around in its shroud, and they were all bloated, ruddy. Is that, do you say that
Red.
word?
Red.
Ruddy?
Yeah.
Red flesh.
Or a
red
dark
skin.
countenance, which is marked way different from today's gaunt pale vampire. They were purplish and dark in color, which is often attributed to the recent drinking of blood, which was often seen from the mouth and nose when one was seen in its shroud or in its coffin. And they mostly always have their left eye open.
Left eyes.
That's one I didn't know about.
I didn't know.
And
about
don't
that.
ask me why
Yeah.
that. I just wrote that down because I
Is-
thought that was interesting.
Is that where the phrase sleep with one eye open comes from?
From the Metallica song?
Yeah.
Yes.
No.
Did you guys?
But yes, I never thought of that.
The left eye is always open on a vampire.
I think they
Traditionally.
slept nude too. Did you watch?
Nothing
hold
I
on.
found.
Did you watch Nosferatu?
I have seen Nosferatu.
He jumps out of that coffin with his old corpse penis just.
He does? Wait, which Nosferatu? The new one or the old
The
one?
new one.
Oh,
Yeah, he jumps out of that coffin and all you see is this.
hot dog. Okay.
Back to you, Val.
So the fascinating thing about this, I'm going to give Dustin a hard time.
Yeah.
You can cut this out.
Okay.
You might
says
want to
this.
cut this out.
I know,
But
it's hilarious.
Keep it all in.
Dustin sat here and said, it's not sexual. We're not going to get that deep about it. Vampires aren't sexy.
I
We don't
totally
need to
noticed
talk-"
Skarsgård Wiener on
And
the
who's the
movie.
first one to pop off about penises?
Listen,
It's not a lesbian.
first off, okay, I didn't say the penis was attractive or sexy. I said it was a corpse penis.
And making that sound, it sounds like it was not threatening at all.
Well,
It
when
sounds
it's
like it was very
coming at the
flaccid.
camera and all you're hearing is the woof, and then you get that. Anyways,
All right, give me the mic
definitely
back.
not romantic. Sorry.
Good grief.
This is why we don't talk about pop culture.
See, I'm just going to keep talking over you and get back on track.
Thanks, pal.
No problem. So the term vampire was popularized in Western Europe after reports of people who were staking corpses. There were reports between 1725 and 1732 that officials noted the local practice of exhuming bodies and killing vampires was taking place.
I think it's also interesting. Like, I know that we've talked about how bored people are, because what else are you doing? And if everybody's going out like, hey, let's go stake some vampires at the cemetery, well, the whole town probably turns out for that. 'Cause let's go see what's going on, right? Bored entertainment.
And I think, and I could be wrong about this, but I think I read somewhere that in these times, there were people who were accidentally buried alive.
Mm-hmm.
So then if they get out of their coffin, that would freak somebody
Of
out,
course,
right?
I've been to your funeral, dude.
What's interesting is the way they just killed them all over again, thinking that they were a reincarnated
Reanimated.
evil being,
Yeah.
because that's another thing. Vampires are, people thought it was just like a malevolent spirit came back to encompass this corpse, and now that person's out drinking everybody's blood. So there was fear and panic. So therefore, I guess if you saw, I mean, that would freak me out. If
Yeah.
you just see somebody walking around, they were supposed to be dead. I don't know if my first response would be to
Yeah.
stake them, but that's what happened.
There's a famous story that here in America, I can't think of the name, so I probably shouldn't even bring it up. But it was about a man's wife that fell ill, and they said she was dead, and she was actually in a coma or whatever. And then she actually made her way out of the grave,
Wow.
and then was seen walking back to the house. And then they put her back in. It's something along those lines. They ended up putting her back in the coffin. She's still.
Wow.
Anyways,
Well, and
I'll have to find that. We'll have to talk about it.
It
Sorry.
is interesting. Like, I have always thought it was kind of interesting, that overlap between vampires and zombies, and maybe ghosts, even to some degree. Like, this idea of people coming back after they're dead. And there are so many that overlap between zombies and vampires the further back you go. So you were talking, Val, about like drinking blood being a specific thing, but some of
I am so sorry that my phone is not on silent.
some of these older stories talk about flesh eating as opposed to blood drinking. Right? And so that's more of like a zombie thing, but zombies are a fairly new invention. Like, if I'm not mistaken, they are newer than vampires as far as a designation for the undead. And so when you go back far enough, what are you really dealing with? Right? Like, these are terms, but what do they really mean? And what's the actual distinction?
And this is jumping way ahead, but I think it's interesting because our monsters sometimes correspond with what we have become aware of. So, like, without any blood, you don't live. And so it's like, well, these corpses here they're coming back for blood, clearly, because that's the extent of our understanding. Blood is the life essence. But there's a lot more than just blood that you need to keep going. So anyway, it's interesting. And also, when it comes to the undead, it's kind of like, are we spiritual beings? Do we have a soul and all that stuff? If the body dies and the vampire comes back, is that the same person who's been transformed, or is something taken over? So it's interesting to think about.
Okay, so in modern times, a vampire is generally held to be a fictitious entity, although some people believe in similar vampiric creatures, such as the chupacabra. That it still exists in some cultures. Early folks' belief in vampires has sometimes been ascribed to the ignorance of the body's process of decomposition after death, and how people in pre-industrial societies tried to rationalize this, creating the figure of the vampire to explain the mysteries of death.
I'm gonna ask you one question, Val. Like, when you were researching, did you see much about shape-shifting as being a piece of these?
I have something about shape-shifting written down, but I think that's a power they acquire. Is that what you mean? Like when they're a vampire?
Yes, as like one of the sort of criteria for vampires.
Yes, and I have a whole list of those.
You have a list of criteria.
Yes, that is one of the powers a vampire
It
can
was the
possess.
thing that I noticed a lot when I was doing research, is like most of these stories, in addition to the older ones, the much older legends, in addition to the blood-sucking or flesh-eating, depending, is this ability to turn into different kinds of animals.
Yes.
Right.
And
yes, definitely.
What's the most common that a vampire turns into?
Well, of course, it's a vampire bat.
It's the Murcielago.
Cigar. Yes, of course.
That's really interesting, because I didn't see bats until later on. The early ones, it's not bats. The early ones, it's a lot of dogs.
I was about to say, is it wolves?
Very crazy
Okay.
early. Not like in the 1600s, but
Well then,
before that, before they were called vampires, a lot of the things that seem like they may have become part of the vampire legend are able to shift into dogs, cats, things like that.
Okay.
And I don't see bats until later. But I just thought that was interesting. Most of them have some sort of shape-shifting thing, too.
In Carmilla, it's a dog.
Yeah.
It is like a dog-like beast, is what they keep saying. And that's it. I've seen that in other things, too, is like a canine-type beast.
The Ubirs that you talked about earlier, they shift into dogs, among other things, multiple different things.
Do you think that has anything to do with familiars? Like with witches and...
I would say, so for me, there's a distinction that I make only in my mind. This is not a scholarly distinction. This is just how Sarah's brain works. I think of pre-Lord Byron vampires and post-Lord Byron vampires. Because Lord Byron was the one that made vampires sexy first. And so he sort of created the contemporary vampire that we think about today.
Who's Lord Byron?
Lord Byron, do you know who Mary Shelley is? Mm-hmm. Okay. Do you know about how Mary Shelley came up with the idea for Frankenstein?
Vaguely,
Have you heard this story? Yeah. So it's Mary Shelley and Lord Byron, who is a poet and author, but more of a poet, I believe. His physician, who else was there? Percy Shelley.
Of course.
And maybe one other person. Tyler, do you know, or are you just looking at me fascinated?
I'm looking at you because I know the Ken Russell movie, which I think is called Gothic. And Ken Russell has a very unique style.
Oh, okay.
So, of course, I would recommend the movie Gothic to anyone. But anyway, please continue.
the way Frankenstein came about was this group of sort of artist, intellectual
these hippies
writers,
go to hang out on a retreat for the
exactly,
weekend.
and they do some drugs.
Do some shrooms.
For real. Like, I don't know if it was shrooms, but they definitely do laudanum.
cut that part out.
They do whatever drugs were the thing that at that point in time. But they start reading ghost stories. They start reading Phantasmagoriana, which is a French collection of German horror tales. I'm reading this literally from Wikipedia. So, but anyway, Byron suggests, let's all have a contest. We're all going to write a ghost story, and whoever's ghost story is the scariest is the winner. And that's how Mary Shelley came up with Frankenstein, was part of this contest. Well, Byron...
Yeah, I thought it was something like that, yeah.
Wrote something that was not particularly notable, but his physician took that story. The physician's name was Polidori. He took that story and wrote The Vampire, based on Byron's idea, essentially. This is boring.
No, that's
No,
great.
it's not. No, that links to what she had.
Byron is the first one to say that vampires are aristocratic, they're fancy, they're attractive, they're seductive, they're whatever. All of that comes out of him. He was inspired by the Turkish idea of vampires. He'd been to Turkey and learned about them there in 1813. And 1816 was the year that they got together and wrote all the ghost stories.
Cool.
And so I create
You were
this
telling me,
division in my mind between post-Byron vampires and pre-Byron, because they're very, very different. This huge shift happens.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if it weren't for Byron, we wouldn't have Lestat
Correct.
or
Dracula
Spike
either.
from Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
They would just be zombies without Lord Byron.
They would be these bloated, red, sort of hideous. Some of them are described as having a unibrow creatures.
Is a
Grotesque.
unibrow grotesque?
Well, at that point in time, it was. Now it might be hot. I don't know
Fashion
what's popular
statement
these
now.
days.
So Nosferatu would actually be
Post-Byron.
post.
Yes.
Because... yeah.
I mean, not necessarily attractive, Nosferatu, but more like Byron's idea than previous
Yeah.
ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because of the aristocracy, I guess,
Yes.
for Nosferatu.
Yeah.
Yeah, he still carried that, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
And that's where you get these ideas about compulsions and glamours. This is all sort of fairy stuff.
fairy,
but
yeah.
There's a definite break to where the vampires are viewed as the grotesque humanoid creatures to then more of a sophisticated, sexy, for lack of a better word. Because when you brought up The Vampire, which was a short story, written by John, what's his name? Polidori. This says that was written in 1819 and is arguably the most influential vampire work of the early 19th century. Now, Bram Stoker's Dracula, he wrote this in 1897. So,
And
quite a
Carmilla
long
was
time.
between the two. Bram Stoker was heavily influenced by Carmilla,
Yes. Carmilla was written in 1872.
which is why you have Mila, the character Mila from Dracula.
Which is insane because I haven't read Dracula, but I know Dracula, and that is two different stories. Like there's not even a cat. Like it's a whole different setting, different. I don't know. Anyways, it's interesting. They just took the.
Yeah, just bits and pieces.
Hey, I like that.
Guys, nothing is new.
Oh, it is. I'm just kidding.
But it does bring me back to, I'm going to be on my bullshit about pop culture really quick. In that today's pop culture is tomorrow's folklore. I
Yeah.
mean, this is a perfect example of how when we think about vampires, I think that Dracula has become folklore. But at one point in time, it was pop culture. And the same thing with The Vampire, which is Polidori's work from the earlier 1800s. At that point in time, it was like in magazines, right? It was kind of like one of those serialized...
Pulpy.
Pulpy, exactly.
Yeah.
Perfect. But now we think of it as being like kind of a key touchstone of myth and legend to some degree.
Do we want to talk about characteristics of vampires? And
Yes.
okay.
Yes, because when I talk about fairies later, and when Tyler talks about his stuff later,
Wait, what?
No,
before
to
she does-
characteristics.
While you're getting your
let me
page
get my
rolled, yeah,
stuff
while you're
together
getting
here,
your
sorry.
bearings straight. You two.
What?
What's this?
what?
You literally, the stuff you just said to my face. You just said, yeah, while you're saying those, the stuff I'm going to talk about and the stuff Tyler's going to talk about, and they're all going to come together. How you all know what y'all talking about? Y'all didn't talk to me?
Because we have it outlined. It's right here.
Yeah. You've seen my outline.
Do you want me to read you a
Outline,
text?
by the way. Can I read that one part of the outline?
Okay. Yeah, here.
Guys, I am a guest on this podcast, okay?
Dustin, you're killing me today.
Tyler gives me the
great.
vampire outline, and at one point it says, this is my Tyler voice. Val tells us about vampires, and we respectfully listen and ask questions that make us look like we're paying attention. Rude.
Is that not happening? Are we not doing that?
I think we're doing really good at this.
I don't even know. Fairies is up next.
I
just
take
now.
it as Tyler's just in La La Land, like, blah, 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 vampire, blah, blah.
You've seen me
I'm gonna-
direct the show before.
I have. Boy, have I.
Just
How
get
many
up
did
there
we
and do it.
together?
Yeah, you,
12 shows.
Maybe,
you
yeah.
want to know what I feel you because I'm also
Tell me
upset.
about your
I'm
feelings,
also upset
Dustin.
going over this outline as well.
Yes. Tell us how you feel.
Not once in
Into
this
the
outline
microphone, though.
has it ever said anything about what I'm bringing to the table.
That's because you didn't.
Mine's
tell
not
us.
even on here.
I don't
It's
know.
actually not. At least I see my name.
Yeah.
Dustin, we have told you over and over again, you are the heart of this podcast, and we are glad you're here.
So brutal.
I'm going to talk about characteristics. We all probably know all this, but characteristics are often attributed to consumption of human blood, possession of sharp teeth or fangs. They are the undead and rise only at night from graves or coffins. Pale skin and can range in appearance from grotesque monsters to beautiful depending on the tale. They cannot cast a reflection or a shadow. They cannot be photographed or caught on film. And this says a person can become a vampire by being bitten, through sorcery, suicide, a contagion, and this is weird, or having a cat jump over a person's corpse. Guys, I got all this from the internet, the broken internet, as Tyler calls it. This says
Someone's learning.
some believe babies, this is really interesting, some believe that babies born with teeth are predisposed to become a vampire. They do not die of disease or normal human afflictions, and they also heal faster than normal. But there are various methods of which we can destroy a vampire. So, of course, the most popular is a wooden stake through the heart, fire, decapitation, sunlight, and they are repelled by garlic crucifixes and holy water.
Garlic crucifixes or garlic and crucifixes?
Garlic,
Tyler,
comma,
be nice to our dad.
garlic, comma, crucifixes, comma,
You
Holy
save
water.
that garbage for Dustin.
Oh, I'm sorry, Val.
It's fine. I can take it.
I have been reading Dracula. I've never read it before.
Can I jump in real quick?
Absolutely.
I finished it about 2 hours before this podcast, by the way.
I didn't realize that it was written like you're reading letters and diaries the whole time.
Diaries,
So-
telegrams, journals.
Yeah,
It's so cool.
it is so cool.
Yeah.
I will say, Dracula's a great book. I can't believe I've never read it before. It's awesome.
Same.
It's a great story.
I have read parts of it, and because I got really into epistolary novels at a certain point in my life, and it's like one of the first examples.
I recommend it.
Great book.
Yep.
I went and saw, guys, to get prepared and in the mood for this. I mean, I was already in the mood because I could talk about vampires all day. There was a Dracula ballet. I know y'all can't see my shirt, but I'm wearing a shirt that I got from the Oklahoma Ballet Company. They did the Dracula ballet at the Civic Center Friday, Saturday, and I think they do it again today. And it was amazing. And thank God I had read the book, or was reading the book and almost done, or I would have been way lost and really confused. And I have to say, at intermission, I took my mom with me. These guys know my mom, so it's already funny that I took her to a Dracula ballet. She turns and looked at me at intermission and said, "This is really weird."
Well, it's ballet.
That's what my response.
Because that's
would've been,
what
was
she
like,
thought
"Yeah,
was
ballet."
weird. But hey, she was a good sport. She went and she actually really enjoyed it and liked it. And now she wants to read Dracula,
Okay.
guys.
I recommend it. I think your mom would like Dracula.
I think so too. So anyway,
What I think is interesting about Dracula is the Count is controlling the dogs. He's talking to the dogs, and it seems like he controls them. And when he gets to London, he's having them break out of the zoo, so...
he controls rats, spiders. So Dracula, can I get on a Dracula
Yeah, do it,
kick
yeah.
just really quick? He has almost every power a vampire can have. Not all vampires can do everything Dracula did. He can turn himself into mist, fog, a bat, a dog. How he transports himself to a different country by taking dirt from Transylvania just so he can keep his power in a different country is crazy. And he was mean.
Yeah.
That all his only
He's driven.
he only wanted to keep turning more and more people into vampires. And he just couldn't get enough of it. And he had no remorse for anything he did. Very calculated. When he was human, he was very smart, first of all. But he also studied alchemy. And then he really got into magic and sorcery. And I can't remember the name of that school.
Monster University.
No, it was not Monster University. So he was out to be an all-powerful, immortal being.
Does it ever
He's
get into...
great.
Yeah. Does it get into the motivation of why he wants to turn everybody into a vampire? Does he get to lord over everybody that he turns?
I think that's pretty much it. He gets to be the all-powerful, supreme being.
And control the minions?
And control them. But he seems like in the book, he has those three that live with him in his castle in Transylvania, and they're all women. And then he turns Lucy, and then he turns Mina. I still don't know how Jonathan got away.
Where I am in the book, I'm probably only halfway. So Jonathan is just...
Oh, great. I just ruined it.
No, he's gotten back up with Van Helsing. I've seen the movie. I've seen
I
several
know.
movies.
I'm teasing.
I know how this ends.
Guys, spoilers for Dracula.
Guys, spoiler alert.
Humanity tends to win in these stories after losing really hard for a long time.
Yes.
But
It is a great novel. Okay, I'm done talking about Dracula.
for now.
You were asking what's
Why?
his motivation.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that it ties back to what we were kind of talking about earlier, where it's a question of like the soul, right? So if we believe in a soul, and if we believe that a soul is inherent to what makes us good, and we believe that when you die, your soul goes somewhere else, if you die and you come back, you don't get your soul back. Your soul is already where souls go. And so if you don't have a soul, then what are you driven by? Are you driven by evil? Are you driven by id? You know, like, what is it? What pushes you if the soul is the seat of morality?
Do you know what it is?
Like the id, the super id, the ego.
Yeah, ego, super ego, and id.
Yes.
Yeah. So that would be Freudian, which...
Sorry, I got Freudian.
Yeah, well, he made some mistakes.
He made a lot of mistakes.
Yes, he sure did.
But it's shorthand, you know.
Yeah, so Freud comes out and says, we're driven by ego, superego, and id. And it's like, oh, well, of course, that's how we're driven. And so we think of ourselves now in three pieces. And, you know, that may not be an accurate way, but that's how we're thinking about it. So
I just think they're just driven by blood. Blood plus, like, it's animalistic almost.
But
If
why
you've
make
lost your-
more?
yeah,
But
That's
why
the
what?
question. Like, why make more vampires? If your motivation is blood, making a vampire is not going to get you more blood. In fact,
Okay,
it may get
that's
you
true.
less. Like, it's better to have
More for
thralls
yourself.
or and thralls is kind of a newer thing too. That I don't know who first came up with thralls. The first place I ever remember hearing about thralls was actually Vampire the Masquerade role playing game.
okay.
But I think they existed in some sort of literature before that
Sure.
game. But that's essentially like, I hate using this terminology, but like blood slaves. So
Willing
basically
participants.
they're humans that allow you to feed off of them, and they continue to make more blood. Like, that's way better than making a new vampire.
Oh, yes.
Right?
Okay.
And so, like, what is... And this is too philosophical and not what Dustin wants to talk about.
He's thinking.
I can see him thinking.
But are
It's
you
not even
thinking...
related.
Are you thinking post-Byron or pre-Byron?
Pre-Byron,
Either.
exactly. So here we go. If you look at the evolution of vampires from the beginning all the way to Byron, for example, it starts very early with the Greeks, Western Europe, all the way through, right? And so to say that indigenous vampire type creatures are part of vampire mythology is going to be inaccurate because that's not how it evolved,
Not
right?
how
It
it
evolved
came,
independently. But there are things like skinwalkers. These are things I might say kind of have some vampire
Right.
elements, right? So
Yeah.
let me just say the thing that I'm going to say every single episode in one way or another, and I know Tyler agrees with me on this. The roots of these things are everywhere.
Something human. It's something about humanity.
Right, needs to tell a story like this. Whether it is a fairy or a god or a witch. If we look at Asian folklore, we're going to find stuff like this too. It exists everywhere in
Yeah.
one way, shape, or form.
Now, ancient alien theory would say the aliens told us about
Right.
vampires, and so that's why all of us know about vampires.
You started talking about shape shifting. That's probably where this is coming into. Oklahoma vampire lore includes the Stikini,
Stikini.
the Stikini, which is
STK?
not Italian, but
I would say, is it a noodle?
So spell it again.
Stikini,
Stickiny.
Stikini, a shape-shifting creature from the Seminole tradition.
Oh, Susan can help Tyler edit that section too so that we don't sound too stupid.
We'll see.
Cut it all.
Oh,
I'm looking at this outline. I don't know how much.
We're about 6 hours
I don't know how
from
much
that,
I
aren't
fit
we?
in there.
Much more.
But
Where are we going, Val?
talk about Oklahoma.
Oklahoma. So the only things I found were actually just people who made movies in Oklahoma or did a book series.
Oh, okay.
So
Oh,
there's
PC Cast. then.
actually yes, PC Cast.
Yeah, I forgot.
And
Yep.
her daughter Kristen.
Yep.
They wrote a series called House of Night, which was a young adult vampire themed fantasy novel. It follows the adventures of Zoe Redbird, a 16-year-old girl who is marked and becomes a vampire and is required to attend the House of Night boarding school in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Cool.
Dang.
Was it written around Twilight? When it
What's it called? I'll look it up real
House
quick.
of Night. There was another book series called Broken Heart Vampires. It was set in a fictional town where the population had become vampirized. with the book focusing on a single mother who becomes one of the undead. Broken Heart Vampires.
Okay. And that's here in Oklahoma?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, it says it's set in a fictional Oklahoma town.
Okay.
In 1987, there was a movie called Near Dark, filmed in Oklahoma, which features a young Oklahoman who falls in love with a nomadic family of vampires, blending horror with a Western setting.
Destin, yes. Within a couple years of Twilight.
There you go.
So the reason I asked that is because around that time I had read Twilight. Yes, I read the Twilight series.
Did I know this about you?
Probably not.
I love that
It's not a
about
proud moment of my
I
life.
would have given you such a hard time.
Yeah, I
it's
know.
great.
One of my relatives had pointed out that her friend's daughter was writing a book here in Oklahoma along the same
Oh, interesting.
lines as that, and she got me a copy of it, and I have it somewhere at the house. I never read it. Sorry. I'll have to find it and I'll show it to you, but
Yeah.
it might be
That'd be hilarious.
that would be funny
it
if
was-
it's that.
yes.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
they are from Oklahoma
Yes.
and it was published.
Yeah.
And then last but not least, my last vampire fact about Oklahoma is that Brad Pitt was born in Shawnee, Oklahoma, and he happens to play Louis in the Interview with a Vampire movie.
Yep.
Boom!
So
Brad Pitt, if you're out there listening,
It all goes back to Oklahoma.
Yeah. I don't know if I knew Brad Pitt was from Shawnee.
yeah, he was
Did you
born
know
in
he was from
Shawnee, but
Oklahoma?
he grew up somewhere else. But he was born in Shawnee,
Okay.
Oklahoma.
Cool.
Yeah.
He wears a cowboy hat in Thelma and Louise.
I've never seen that movie. I've never seen Thelma and Louise.
It's
The
fine.
death stare.
That's
The
something I
number
didn't
of
know
things
about
I've never seen.
I didn't know you read Twilight.
The books are great. The movies are but I watch them every time they're on. I can't help it. When you said that thing about a friend of a friend was writing a book, I forgot to mention this earlier, guys. When I was a junior, I think in chemistry class, I started writing a vampire book. I really got into it when I was like a freshman in high school. So I
What
was
was-
like 94.
What was your pop culture references, do you think, that were influencing you?
Definitely Interview with a Vampire and Anne Rice.
Yeah.
I love all her stuff. But that really, I think, got me into it. And we have this friend who every time he sees me, still, to this day, he's like, hey, you remember that book you tried to write about vampires when we were in high school? I'm like, yes, I remember. And him and my husband make fun of me, but...
I think I know who you're talking about, and I think it's the same person that when I was a freshman in high school, I took industrial arts, and there was another guy in there, and they're both the ones that actually got me onto heavy metal music, and one of them always acted like he was a vampire, and he was more like a gothic side. And the other one, who I think you're talking about, had this ongoing thing with him talking about having wooden stakes ready. And it was a joke. But anyways, I think I know who you're talking about. I want to
Yeah.
read, while we're on here, I want to read your husband's text message to me.
Oh, no.
So Val's husband sent me a text before the show, and it said, make sure Val tells you about her vampire book she was writing in high school and how she's been cramming for this podcast like it's a midterm.
Oh, my gosh. Busted.
When's Ethan coming on?
He would love to. And guys, he is way more knowledgeable than me about any and all these types of things. And he actually was trying to tell me little tidbits. Apparently, there's these teenagers in Kentucky that have taken it to the extreme and really think they are vampires. And they really do try to drink people's blood. And it's like a little cult. But I guess what else are you going to do in Kentucky?
When you're bored, yeah.
When you're bored. Again, it goes back to when you're
Yeah.
bored.
Idle hands are the devil's playthings.
They are. That is a great movie.
Idle hands?
Idle Hands with Devin. Is it? I always want to say it's Devin
No.
Sawa.
Is it short?
It's
With Casper and
Devin Short?
Seth.
Seth Green.
Seth Green.
And who is Jessica Alba.
Yes, it's a great movie.
It is. It's good.
And Ethan also told me more about Vlad the Impaler, who I know we didn't talk about, but he's not a vampire.
No.
But it's apparently Bram Stoker got his inspiration for Dracula from Vlad.
That's what I've always heard, but there's plenty of mythology and folklore to go with vampires as well. So if you wanted to tie it to a real figure, I guess you could do that.
Oh, so that's my Oklahoma tie-ins to vampires. The only other stuff I wrote down to talk about were like favorite books and TV shows and movies. And then, I mean, if y'all want to do your stuff, your fairy alien stuff, I'd say have at it.
I'm glad you brought up Vlad the Inhaler.
Fairy aliens.
What?
This is how I feel when it's just us three. That is something I would have said.
If y'all want to do your fairy alien stuff.
Oh, I didn't mean it like that. I meant like before we get into
Dustin
pop
is
culture.
right. I heard Dustin say it.
That is
and if
hilarious.
Dustin said it, it would have sounded really dismissive.
Oh, no.
You didn't say it
I
dismissive.
didn't. Okay.
But Dustin is exactly
get me
right.
in
I
trouble.
heard his voice in my
Okay.
mind
Then
almost instantly. Why do we say he's the heart of our podcast? He's so
He just brings us down.
That was great. I couldn't have said it better. On to you guys' shit.
My favorite was the other day. Tyler literally just referred to Dustin as Nancy,
Yeah.
and I died.
Yeah.
It's negative
That's like
Nancy.
Dustin.
Okay,
Negative
like,
Nancy.
negative Nancy.
My wife does it too. So we're moving on, huh?
I want to ask Dustin,
Oh no.
when you think of a vampire, what do you think of?
Ask that again. Like,
Dustin,
rephrase that.
if I were to say to you, picture in your mind a vampire, what's the first image that comes into your mind?
And you mean like from what I know?
From what you know, not thinking deep about it, just vampire. What's it look like?
It would be Dracula.
Which Dracula, though?
Well, that's that. Yeah,
The Universal.
Lugosi. Okay.
That's what I would first think of, but is it my favorite? No.
Yeah.
But vampires, that I told Val on the way here, so she would be prepared if I ever said this, that vampires aren't my thing.
Yeah.
They weren't mine. But that's who I would think of first, is the classic Universal monster,
I see. Okay.
Bella.
Not Bella.
Bella.
Not Team Bella.
Not Twilight Bella, even though when I read
She's
the books.
famously not a vampire. Spoilers for Twilight? I don't know. I didn't
The
read
book's
it.
20 years old. I don't know.
Does she turn full?
She turns.
She turns
okay.
full?
That's why I was
She
like, wait,
famously
what?
sometimes is a vampire. I don't know.
She does turn into one, yes. I don't really want to talk about Twilight.
Oh,
I
okay.
could, I guess. Well, because y'all are going to make fun of me because of how much I know and
No,
like it.
no.
Okay.
Give us brief
The
Twilight.
main part that I really do not like about Twilight, because I love vampires so much, is the fact that they glitter in the sun. Okay, that's just... Or whatever they do.
What don't you like about it? Why is that?
I think
why does
because-
that specifically bother
Specifically
you?
because they're supposed to just poof.
Sunlight's supposed
Sunlight's
to kill them.
supposed to kill them. Yes.
So you're old school.
I do
So-
I like it all, guys. I mean,
So here's the thing that I couldn't figure out, and maybe you know, or maybe one of you guys know. My husband and I were talking about this at lunch the other day, because when I research for this podcast, I usually spend like 2 whole days just like reading everything I can possibly find. I get super obsessed for 2 days, and then I have to sit down with somebody and tell them every single factoid I've learned. Everything. Because if I don't do that, I'll come on here and do it, and that doesn't actually make for a good podcast. And so I was at him the other day, and I looked and could not figure out where the idea that sunlight kills vampires began. The first time I ever heard of it truly was in Interview with a Vampire. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it exists before then.
because even in Dracula, he can be
Yeah.
out during the day. He's just very weakened. So it is Interview with a Vampire too.
I
The
think it
first
might
one
be Anne Rice invented
It
that.
might be Anne Rice.
I
Anne
don't know.
Rice invented
Somebody
it.
write
Well,
into us, guys.
Yes,
Nosferatu.
because I don't know.
Does Nosferatu burst
cannot
into...
be. That's how he dies.
He poofs.
In the movies, that's
in the
how.
movies,
but what
he
about
dies.
the book? Dracula.
No, he dies because they get him out of his coffin, and one of them slits his throat and decapitates him while someone else is stabbing him in the heart. And he turns into dust right then and there.
Okay.
He poofs. But it is said he looks to have a peaceful look on his face that Mina sees. The end of Dracula is insane. It's the chase. They're all
Okay.
trying to get to him
Cool.
before she turns.
I see.
Essentially. So it's almost like I feel like he's so upset that someone's figured out a lot of his tricks that maybe by the time they finally reach him, he's finally like,
He's ready to be done.
I'm done.
Yeah.
Because somebody else is just going to do this. If they have figured out
Yeah.
some of my secrets, someone else is too.
I see.
1922 would be the first iteration of Nosferatu in film format, and he does poof away in the 1922 version.
From sunlight?
So it wasn't Anne Rice.
Okay.
It was at least, it goes back at least as far
19.
as the original Nosferatu. It doesn't happen in Dracula. So maybe it's Henrik Galeen, the writer of the screenplay for the original Nosferatu. Maybe that's the person who came up with it? I would love to know.
Wonder where he got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Because all the stuff I read previous to that, like, they do their feeding a lot of times at night, but that's just because it's easier to get people when they're unconscious.
Yeah.
And also, a lot of the fairy connections to vampire are nighttime activities. So, but I haven't seen anything that says it can't be in the daytime prior to Nosferatu. I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah.
We've talked about Nosferatu, the new one. David Eggers.
Oh, I like his other stuff, but I don't watch scary stuff.
I think David Eggers really is into style, and my favorite thing in the Nosferatu movie is the servants. Because the servants are present, you just never see them. Like, you see their backs or their shoulders or something that's totally
Interesting.
that's how you would, like, they're just
Yeah.
furniture. That's how the time period was, and that's how they are in that movie as well. It's fascinating. I read a really lousy review that was like the age dynamic. It's all about old men wanting to get with young women. Everybody's a critic, I guess.
Yeah.
That was about the new Nosferatu?
The new Nosferatu is just about ancient old white men trying to get with young nubile women. Is that what's attractive about the vampire stories?
Depends on who's into them.
Yeah.
Like, Bram Stoker's Dracula is basically the same thing, right?
You're just better looking.
I mean, it's a
somebody's opinion.
old guy trying to get with Winona Ryder, who was very young and very beautiful at that point in time. I'm not saying I buy it. I'm just saying if you look at, okay, who is buying this media? Who is purchasing this media?
It's young women.
Not Dracula,
Oh, okay.
right? Interview with the Vampire, yes.
Okay.
It's also a woman creating that media.
Yeah.
Whereas Dracula, the movie, was not directed by a woman, to my knowledge, or written by a woman, to my knowledge. So I think it is like, it does kind of depend on who it's for and who's creating it,
Yeah.
what kind of story they're telling. But isn't that true of like everything?
Every media.
Yeah.
Who's your target audience?
Yeah.
So some of the pop culture things, there's like, oh, vampires can't come in unless they're invited.
That's Dracula too. That they say that.
So Val was talking about the Vrikolakas, which is sort of Greek origin, I think. That's the original like term that traveled, as I mentioned. It kind of started in Greece and worked its way into Europe. And in the Baltic area, so Slavic area, these particular creatures have I'm going to use the term rule. So basically, if they knock on your door and you don't answer at all, they just move on to the next house. If you answer the door, you die a few days later. And then they become a Vrikolakas themselves. So, like, that's... Let me see when...
You saying this like this, it doesn't sound very scary to me. It's just like, oh, I become a person who goes and knocks on doors now and waits for someone to answer.
and then they die, right?
Right, yeah. Like,
Yeah, it's like, are they actually causing the death? I don't know. 1600s, I guess, is when this started being a thing, these particular people. But yeah, and that's the first thing that I see that's about letting them in or answering the door. It's not really inviting them in.
mm-hmm.
But if you open the door and say, who's there, even if you don't let them in, you're still going to die like 3 days later or however many days later.
Yeah.
And then you're going to be a vampire yourself, basically.
Huh.
And I don't know what they get out of the deal.
Yeah.
Just go around knocking on doors.
Trick or
Probably
treat.
exhausting.
That's where that trick come from? Or the prank?
Ding dong ditch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Do you think this is the modern reason why people don't answer the door even though you know they're home? You saw them go in. Is that the excuse? You know, I just don't want to be a vampire, so I'm not going to answer the door.
Can I read you this
That'd be cool.
little section about the Vricolacus? I'm just going to read it straight from Wikipedia, which I know people can go there themselves if they want. But it's interesting.
Not while they're driving.
I guess that's true. So it says, people with red hair and gray eyes at this time in history were thought to be vampires. Lots of red-headed vampires out there, guys, which South Park talks about later.
Yes.
And that's pop culture.
Daywalkers.
Daywalkers. Oh, I was called a daywalker so much in high school. It sucked. It freaking sucked. Okay, so we're thought to be vampires according to accounts near the region of modern Serbia. The activities of the Vricolacus are nearly always harmful, ranging from merely leaving their grave and roaming about. I don't know how harmful that is.
Stay where you're supposed to be.
And up to causing epidemics in the community. Among other things, the creature is believed to knock on the doors of houses and call out the name of the residents. If it gets no reply the first time, it will pass without causing any harm. If someone does answer the door, he or she will die a few days later and become another Vricolacus. For this reason, there is a superstition present in certain Greek villages that one should not answer the door until the second knock. But why? Isn't the second knock what makes you become a Vricolacus? I'm confused.
It's the cultural rules that there's something there that we're not understanding.
Yeah. The legends also say that the Vricolacus crushes or suffocates the sleeping by sitting on them, much like a mare or an incubus, as does a vampire in Bulgarian folklore. What's that about? All of our superstitions are, like, twisted. I don't mean twisted like demented. I mean, the actual origin is something totally different from, like, what the superstition looks like today.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
We've lost the meaning and assigned it something else.
Yeah. So, don't answer the door, I guess? Ever?
Mm-hmm. Or text.
Period?
Don't look at your text messages.
Don't look at your
Yeah.
Yeah, so, Val, was there anything else that you really wanted to talk about from your notes?
Are you done now or what?
Yeah.
You have.
Let me think.
You have thought about this and researched.
Oh,
about
there
this.
is one thing I was going to mention. One of my other favorite vampires, of course, is Count Von Count, the Muppet from
of
Sesame
course.
Street.
Ah, yeah.
And I have a picture of him looking at me at Sesame Street Land in SeaWorld in May. We locked eyes, and I took a picture of him. Then I have another picture of a vampire killing kit that was at Ripley's Believe It or Not
Love
in
it.
Branson. Yeah, I think I'm done.
So,
I have one more. I'm kidding.
has everyone seen the movie What We Do in the Shadows? It's so funny. I recommend you watch it.
And the TV show.
The TV show is one of the thralls in the TV show are my favorite because it's just these suckers, they get to do their work and they learn, you're going to make me a vampire, right? It's like, yeah, one of these days, sure, whatever. Yeah. Like, it means nothing to these vampires because they're around for the long haul and all these people just keep shuffling in and out, you know? And it's just...
So now you got me.
Uh-huh.
In the movie, Peter,
Okay.
who is the Nosferatu, like the extremely ancient vampire in the movie.
In the basement, yeah.
Right. I think he is named after Peter Blagojevich, who was a real-life vampire.
Okay. Tell us
I
about...
said I wasn't going to tell these stories.
Okay.
But you opened the door.
I did. I opened the door. Tell us about...
So in 1725, in Serbia, a man named Peter Blagojevich, I think I'm pronouncing his name correctly. I could be screwing it up. But it's Blagojevich.
Oh, well... Sure, Blagojevich.
Seems right, right?
Seems right.
Sounds right to me, too.
He died in 1725, and over the next 8 days, 9 people died, all after being ill for only 24 hours. And each of them, at some point before they died, said that Peter Blagojevich had come and choked them in the middle of the night. And the villagers in the town, they all got together because they were bored, and exhumed his body, and it seemed very fresh.
Awesome.
Now, keep in mind, it was less than 2 weeks after he died, number one.
We're not embalming people at this time.
Correct. And number 2, I don't know what time of year it was, but if it was winter,
Yeah.
Yeah. He's frozen.
preserved.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they all got together and they all stabbed him,
Great.
and then they burned the body.
Okay.
And then he never came back after that. So I guess problem solved. And that's my story about a real life vampire.
Now, that happened a lot. And over here in America, they had the New England vampire panic around the 1800s. One story from America. This girl named Mercy Brown. She's only one story of similar stories across the Eastern Coast, but she's known to be the last American vampire. Her parents were George and Mary. Her mom was the first to pass away, and then months after that, the oldest daughter passed away from illness. And then Mercy, years later, becomes ill, and so does her brother at the same time. They were dying from consumption.
Tuberculosis.
Yes.
Where you cough up blood.
Yeah.
At the time, all the symptoms, and if you didn't know
Yeah.
what was going on, these were all symptoms that were in relation with vampire roles, I guess is what you would say.
Characteristics. Yeah.
They lived in like a really small farm village of Rhode Island. So Mercy dies. Her mom has died years past. Her other sister had died years past from the same stuff. And now the brother's dying. And they think that they are vampires coming back and sucking the life out of him. The townspeople want to dig up the bodies of the 3 women to check the bodies. And they dig up the mom and the oldest sister first. And of course they're just bones and, the normal decay.
I was going to say, they're not in the coffin, are they?
But-
They're both gone.
Yeah, right? But Mercy hadn't been buried very long, because when she died, it was in January. And so they had stored her in a mausoleum.
Because the ground was too hard.
Because the ground was too hard. And so they checked the heart. And the heart still had blood, so they considered her to be a vampire coming and taking from her brother. And this wasn't the only case. There's like 80 written accounts of this happening, where they would take the body up. I can't say that word, whatever you guys were saying. Exhume. And then take the heart out and other organs. They would burn them, take the ashes and mix it with water. And they made the brother drink the ashes to heal him. And he ended up dying 2 months later anyways.
They got an extra 2 months out of him. Way to go, guys.
Ultimately, it was consumption in these cases. But Mercy died at the age of 19 in January 1892. In 1882, Robert Koch had discovered tuberculosis, the bacteria. They were aware of it. They wouldn't come up with vaccines and
Treatments.
stuff to fight it until the 40s. This is the sad part. Her dad lived until 1922, and right before he died, they had discovered the BCV vaccine. But he lived his whole life, never got it.
Yeah.
And basically half of his family's died from it.
Yeah.
And he has to see them come up with the fix on it. He did it because of the townsfolk, the pressure from the townsfolk. Because even a doctor at the time, which was Harold Metcalf, he tried to tell them that it is a bacteria. Like, he was trying.
Yeah.
And he was trying to explain to them why she still had blood in her heart. Anyways, but this was just one account. Like, there's like number of these during this time period where it was a panic. Interesting part was that the word vampire was never used. The townspeople weren't calling them vampires. It was used in the media. But unfortunately, the scientific discoveries in these rural areas, they didn't get newspapers. They didn't get that kind of stuff. So they're going old school tradition. Like, oh, and one last thing. Dracula, they found newspaper articles about the story of Mercy Brown in his possession. And they believe that Lucy and Dracula was based off of Mercy Brown.
Oh.
Because Mercy Brown was also called Lena and Mercy. They think he made the name Lucy.
1822 is when the vampire, the Polidori book came out.
Mercy died 1892.
When Dracula came out 1897.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, so years later, then he would have newspaper
that's
articles.
perfect timing. Makes sense.
So anyways.
Cool.
Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit about fairies. When you talk about fairies and vampires, the first thing you're going to come up with is the Bavanshi. And they're very similar to succubus. I guess I just talk about succubus. Succubus is female, incubus is male.
That is my favorite band. I'm sorry.
Yes.
It is.
Guys, Incubus is Val's favorite band. Okay, go on. Talk about fairies.
So,
It really
yes, yeah. So they come into your room at night and take your life force. This is done in many different ways, but they are really similar to, like, whenever I read about succubus, the first thing I think about, I've talked on this podcast before about how I have sleep paralysis. I don't have sleep paralysis demons, and this is a term that is a popular culture term. It's not something I made up.
Sure.
But a lot of people who have sleep paralysis envision a being sitting on top of them, and that's what's preventing them from moving.
The demon.
Science would say sleep paralysis is real, and the demon is your mind filling in the blanks for why you can't move. But we haven't always had science telling us how to think, and so sleep paralysis is real, and it's happened to people. And so you get things like incubus, succubus, blah, blah, blah. Bavanshi is the fairy version of incubus, and succubus does basically the same thing.
Where are they from?
That's Celtic, Gaelic,
Okay.
kind of. That's where most of my fairy stuff comes from. Scottish Gaelic. So I just want to throw that out there because that's the first thing you're going to come up with. What I think is really interesting is there's another one called the Lananshi. I love this. So this is Yeats, and we've talked about Yeats before in Fairy Talk. The more I read about Yeats, the more I'm starting to learn how much he just truly made some stuff up. I do believe that a lot of what he writes about comes from the folklore of a region, and he just happened to be the guy to write it down. But the irresponsible thing that he did was put his own ideas in there. And the Lananshi is one of Yeats's inventions.
Okay.
And it's basically like a muse that drains their artist. And I think this has come up probably in pop culture in some places too. I'm trying to think of examples. Maybe you guys will come up with them. But I know there's stories like this where there's one from Star Trek, but I'm not going to get into Star Trek.
Dang Trekkies.
But basically,
Okay, sorry.
the artist discovers a muse, and the muse helps them create, but they create to the point where they waste away, and the muse is draining all of that energy. That was a total fabrication by Yeats. Yeats invented that idea. But because there's so many actual folklore mixed in with what he talks about, it's moved forward into culture as if it has these deep roots when it's really just this one guy's thoughts.
How'd you find that out, though?
I'm a librarian.
There you go.
What section would you put Edgar Allan Poe in?
Oh, Lord.
Depends on what library it's in.
Romance. not literature.
So this idea of the Lenanshi was inspired by this artistic conceit of the time period called the Dark Muse. And it evolved from the late medieval period, but in the 19th century, so Yeats's time, it was like the aesthetic. It was like the goth movement of its age. So we are deep and dark and cool.
We're
and
not
spooky.
vamp, we're goth.
Exactly. Yes, it was emo. It was that generation's
So romance.
emo.
Romance.
Yes. Yes. Anyway, so that's the Lenanshi. I just wanted to put that out as a disclaimer, like one of those stories that kind of comes up a lot. That's like a vampire story, but it doesn't come from fairy lore. What does come from fairy folklore is red caps. And red caps are like fae that wear their red hat. I don't know why there's fireworks going on. It's not a holiday that I'm aware of.
And it's a Sunday night.
And it's Sunday night. But you know, it's Oklahoma. We're bored.
Yep, people get bored.
People get bored.
Parlor games over there.
We're in Oklahoma, people.
They
Those
sound
are good old
but
country
they're
boys.
Yeah. Anyway, red caps. Their caps are red because they soak them in human blood. And they can be driven away by the brandishing of a crucifix. When you like hold the crucifix up in the face of a red cap, they scream, burst into flames, disappear, and leave behind a large tooth. Tell me that's not a vampire.
That's very vampire.
They leave behind a tooth?
Yeah, why
A
they leave
giant
a
tooth. Guess it's their blood-sucking tooth or their... I don't know what it is. That's red caps.
Is that
Something
two
out of
words?
Zelda.
No, it's one word, red cap. R-E-D-C-A-P. Why? Do you know of other red caps?
I hear the color red cap that you wear.
Yes.
Red cap.
Yes, but it's written as one word because the being is a red cap.
Red cap. Okay.
The thing they're wearing is a red cap,
Okay.
but they are
A red cap.
caps.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do they have a mustache?
Oh, I don't know. Why?
Do they have
Are
a
they
brother?
Mario?
It's a me,
Okay,
Mario.
so-
Here's a tooth.
So that's a fairy thing. Another fairy thing that I thought was interesting that we talked about before in the fairy podcast, and Tyler has talked about before, is this idea that, like, you can stop a vampire. Like, when they would bury people, they would pour, like, poppy seeds or small grains, like, over the grave. Because vampires, much like fairies, this is also a thing you do with fairies, have a compulsion to count. And so if you pour a bunch of poppy seeds over the grave, when they get up to come after you, they will be compelled to count every single poppy seed. And they won't come and get you.
They'll buy you time.
Which, I don't know, just this is a public service announcement for people who are worried about fairies, like I am.
Mm-hmm.
Grain, poppy seeds, fairies can't help themselves.
Scatter
You gotta
it.
count it all. It'll keep you safe.
Okay.
Do you carry that on you at all times?
No.
Oh.
But I'm prepared in my home if I need to be.
I would say I hope no fairies listening right now.
No, I've got my Rowan in my pocket.
Okay.
Yeah, and my iron in
Your
this
iron.
pocket,
Okay.
and my salt in my bag.
Okay.
Are you
I'm
serious
good.
right
I
now?
almost asked if salt had anything to do with that.
I'm not saying
learning.
saying whether I'm
learning.
serious or not, Dustin, because I don't want them to get me. When you see vampire type creatures in China, India, South America, so these more non-Western areas, they also have that poppy seeds or grains or whatever thing to stop vampires from coming to get you. So that's a really one of those things where I'm like, everything's fairies, guys.
Yeah,
It's all
yeah.
fairies.
Do you think that's where garlic came from?
I don't know why
Because
garlic.
is like...
I mean, garlic is part of it in a lot of different traditions, but I don't know why.
Probably
In-
just the smell of garlic or something.
In Dracula, it's not the cloves; it's the flowers.
flower.
He's putting these wreaths of
On
flowers.
her.
Some of these older ones, like, I think it might be Greek mythology. I don't remember for sure, so don't come at me. They bury them with a bulb of garlic in their mouth to keep them from becoming vampires. And that's like old, like pre-Dracula, the book. I talked about shape changing and then pressing people in their sleep, choking people at night. I think that's where the sun is dangerous thing came from, is because so many of these stories are about like people being on your chest, and also why they have this sexual component so many times.
You're most vulnerable. Consent is important.
Consent is very important. So that sexual like element is in so many of these stories, even the non-sexy ones. So like
vampires
even
do
the
have to be
stories.
invited in.
That's consent to coming in my house, but not consent to laying on top of
You
me.
didn't specify.
Consent has to be specific and enthusiastic. Yeah, so that's my fairy stuff. Okay. Oh, but I do want to talk about the impusas. Impusas?
Tell us about the impusas.
So this is also from Greek mythology. The only reason I bring it up is because we were talking about Nosferatu, the movie. Mm-hmm. And the ship in that movie is named the Impusa.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, that's
and the
interesting.
Impusas were shapeshifters from Greek mythology who seduce and devour a philosophy student. That's all I have written down.
One single philosophy student?
Well, yeah. Well, a lot of the Greek mythology is like a story about one person.
Yeah, specific.
Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, theoretically, they do that to lots of people. But the
Sure.
one story
We
that
have
it's
this
about.
proof this time.
Yeah. So, philosophy student.
Uh-huh.
Okay, that's all.
And then to tie in with cryptids, of course, we've mentioned the chupacabra. Chupacabra is a goat-sucking lizard.
Is that what it is?
I mean,
I've never heard of it described as a
the goat
It's the
sucker?
goat sucker.
goat sucking
And there's
lizard.
I heard the
Yeah.
lizard
They're
part.
scaly.
They're supposedly scaly, all these trail cams and things like that.
Scales and spines. Isn't it scales and spines?
That's the thing. Sometimes when it's seen, it has there. That's when you say chupacabra now. It's very hip and cool to think it's a dog with mange.
Oh, well, that's not it.
Right. We're talking about the actual cryptids.
I'm like, that's not it. Like,
I
I
always,
know.
for some
Yep,
reason,
I didn't know.
pictured like a piranha. Is that anywhere near?
A piranha.
I don't know why.
Well, they got teeth. They've got and that's the thing with the vampire bats. They've got those teeth that come in and they just make the little incision and then lap it up.
Yeah.
When we talk about a chupacabra, it's purely American or North American?
It would from Mexico.
So North American?
So yeah, chupacabra, but also aliens. If you want to talk about the abduction experience, people are taken, and sometimes when they are returned, they've got injection spots or something like that on their arm or their neck or their leg or something like that. And that's one of these things about vampire stories, is we're trying to tell these stories. You've got all these bites around your fingers or something when you wake up in the morning. Something's bit you. I mean, rats are spreading disease and all this other stuff. But also, was it? I mean, we didn't see it. We just got all these bite marks all over us. Could have been a bat. Something was after something of our essence, So you can kind of see how when you're desperate for answers, you'll find those stories for yourself. So
I had a story about one of these creatures sucks your blood out through your tongue. And it made me think, I'm trying to figure out which one it was, but it made me think about tuberculosis. Because if you have blood around your mouth, perhaps because you've been coughing it up, that there's maybe a connection.
It's tuberculosis is really interesting when you start talking about comparing it with vampire.
Yeah.
that's
Or-
something I had not even
Because the symptoms really play into a lot of the things, like especially for more modern vampire characteristics. Obviously the blood from orifice, and then you got the pale skin, and then you have the weakness. And they also, in some cases, talk about being light sensitive. So that's another reason I always
Photophobia.
thought, yeah. So, I mean, there's a lot of stuff. And if you think back, it's like, they didn't know.
Yeah.
Like this says 1882 when they discovered the bacteria.
Yeah.
And then had a name for it. And that's at the very beginning of just discovering it.
Right.
And then not knowing what it was and what it does. But if you think back, I mean, that stuff's been around and nobody knew what it was. Then
Story's got a life of its own. Yep.
Which we're finding that out the more we do these podcasts, going back in the day, that a lot of it is coming out of what we didn't know.
Yeah.
Right.
Like
Filling in the blanks.
Yes.
Yeah. So we were just...
I can't move at night.
Yeah.
Even though I'm awake. There
Yep.
must be something sitting on my chest.
Yeah.
Because that's the only explanation.
Yeah.
It's a lot of that stuff. Yeah. I found the Zamora. It's Polish. Suck blood through your tongue. And they cause you to do things at night and not remember that you've done them. So, like Ambien, basically.
I was just about to say that. Me and you, I was just about to say, so Ambien?
I took Ambien. This is kind of a funny story. I took Ambien one time. I was very anxious about flying. I developed a fear of flying at some point, and I'm not anymore. But anyway, so my doctor was like, take an Ambien before you fly, because it was going to be like an 8-hour flight. Take it before you leave town so you know how you'll react, because you don't want to take it on the flight and then not be able to wake up when you get to your destination.
Yeah.
So I took Ambien one time, and I woke up the next morning to discover that I had cooked macaroni and cheese,
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
taken a bath, and shaved my legs,
Wow.
and had no memory of doing any of it.
And everything was good.
I mean, yeah, nobody was hurt and the house wasn't burned down, but I never wanted to touch Ambien.
Was the
again.
macaroni and cheese good?
I don't know. I don't remember eating
You didn't have any left over?
No.
Wow. Makes you
But
hungry,
I didn't
too.
clean up after myself, so I was definitely too tired to, like, clean up. Anyway, the other thing about the Zamora that's really interesting is the mirrors thing. So the way that you keep a Zamora from coming around is you hang a mirror in, this specifically said, like, the manger. I guess maybe the Zamora go out to the manger at night. I don't know.
After
anyway,
your critters.
but theoretically, you can hang it like hang a mirror over your bed, or hang a mirror in your child's room, and they are terrified by their own reflection. So they show up in the mirror. These are the not cute vampires from back when they weren't cute. They show up and they see their own reflection, and it frightens them away. Which I wonder if that's kind of the
Where the
root
mirror
of,
legend
like,
came.
Yeah.
Can't see their own
Like if
reflection.
they can't see themselves.
What they meant was they can't, because they know
Yeah.
they'll
They'll
despair.
be terrified and run away.
Yeah, and we took it as, oh, you just can't see their...
Yeah. Yeah.
This is so off topic. It's crazy. On the way over here, the last maybe 3 miles of my drive, I saw 17 monarch butterflies.
Oh, yeah, they're on the move.
Yes.
I started counting them after one landed on the hood of
We
my
saw
car
a
while
few,
I was stopped at a stop sign.
I hit a
And then,
few.
like, there were 3 more, and I was like, okay, well, now I gotta count them all, because that's the kind of person I am. 17.
They're on the move right now.
They
have
are.
migrated to
Yeah.
our house. I have pictures and video. I'll show you. I'm serious. Hundreds in our backyard, and they come every year.
That's
cool.
awesome.
It's awesome.
Butterflies
We're done.
always
Back.
make me think of fairies. I feel like they're connected somehow.
Sure.
Did you know that there's a caterpillar that turns into the blue butterfly? The big, beautiful blue ones? It secretes some kind of ooze that it secretes on its body. And ants, like, will attack them. When it starts to attack, it'll secrete that stuff, and then that ant eats it, takes it back to the colony, and then the caterpillar follows it into the colony, down into it, and they think it's the queen. And so then they start bringing the stuff to
heard
it,
about this.
and it eats the larva, and it eats the ants as it goes, and then when it comes out as a butterfly, it goes out. That is insane.
Caterpillars dissolve every part of them except for something that scientists basically call a memory disk. It's like a literal tiny little disc, and that holds everything it's the programming to become a butterfly. Everything else disappears. Everything else. Lungs, brain, all of it gone.
And then that's when it
and then it
becomes-
has just this memory disk that, like, turns it into a butterfly.
Jeez, the more
Tell
you
me this
know.
is not fairies.
Get
So
into
beautiful.
nature, dude.
But Tyler's always talking about nature being
Yeah.
a sort of magical realm to
Of
some
course it
degree.
is.
There are so many things that science still hasn't
Of
explained
course, yeah.
that you would think science would be able to explain.
Yeah.
Like how cats purr.
Yeah. We don't know.
We don't know how cats purr.
Yeah.
Scientists don't know where that sound comes from.
Should just open them up when they're doing it.
They do. There's
Oh.
there's nothing.
It doesn't come from a diaphragm
It-
type
they
vibration
don't-
or
they
anything?
have no clue. I swear, I did not believe this. My husband told me we don't know how cats purr, and I looked at him and said, "You don't know how cats purr," because I thought surely scientists know, and maybe my husband just doesn't know. No, truth. No one freaking knows where that sound comes from.
Wild.
They know where it doesn't come from.
Guys, I hear the dogs barking in the distance. The vampires must be prowling.
Yeah.
Sun has set, so maybe we ought to come out of the smoke here and get our garlic wreaths. What do you think?
Sounds like a great
You have
idea.
some?
No, but we need to whip some up.
It is
Spooky season. So
fun.
are we coming out of the smoke? Are we done?
Happy
My
Halloween,
tea's
y'all.
gone cold.
Your tea's gone cold.
That tea was good.
Was
Thank
it?
you. Yes.
Good.
Ta-
I've never tried it before.
Say it again.
Yeah, give us the notes.
That tea that
Oh,
Sarah
yeah. What did it taste
gave
like?
me, it tasted like
Do
tea.
you want to read the back? The part that's
I
in
totally
English?
tasted the peppermint.
Yeah, it did smell minty.
It just was really good and really
It's
smooth
called-
and calming.
It's called Altai. Altai. It has originum. I don't know what that is. Originum, currant leaves, rose hips, peppermint, rhodiola, and marigold. I'm glad it was good.
Yes, thank you.
How was your experience with us?
Guys, I loved it. This was so fun. It was nice to just sit and talk
Yeah.
for hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
Yeah.
And
Thanks for letting me come on, guys.
We're so glad you're here.
and
Yeah.
talk about vampires,
Yeah.
amongst other things.
Yeah. Thanks for the idea. Thanks for being here. Thanks for sharing the story. Thanks for doing all the research.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
And everybody should read Dracula.
Yes.
Watch the black and white Nosferatu with whatever soundtrack you want. There are some that have modern soundtracks, but the original's fine
I
as
think
well.
I'm gonna go watch Nosferatu now that I've learned all about it. I didn't know. It looks really cool.
It is very interesting, and I think Nosferatu is clearly a fairy.
Interesting.
I'm also gonna actually read the vampire spelled with a Y,
yes.
the
I'd like to read that
Polidori
too.
story, because I've never read that.
All right.
About Carmelia.
We didn't even talk
I've-
about Carmilla.
You've read
I've
it?
read Carmilla.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm not allowed to talk about it
Yeah, we can't talk about it.
because Dustin and I'll have a fight. We'll have
No
a fight.
fighting.
Dustin doesn't believe lesbians exist.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, goodness.
I'm teasing, of course. Thanks everybody for joining us.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
And are we ready?
Can I say it?
Yeah.
Play us out.
Plays off.
Play us off.
Play us out. Play us off. Girls say play us out. Girls say play us out.
We say it
Okay.
different every time.
Yeah, we do. I usually wait, and whatever they say, I say
You
the
say the
opposite.
opposite?
Yeah.
She was young, glued to the TV screen. Brad Pitt bleeding in a fever dream. Lips like hunger, eyes full of fright. She whispered, God, I want that bite. Cheap plastic things and cherry red lips. She drew a coffin in her drama script. it right. She carved a crucifix out of chalk, waited for the graveyard to talk. Every bat that crossed the moon, she swore one day she'd follow soon. Blood red nails and thrift store lace, a pale reflection, a holy face. Chase the rumor through the undertow of some cowboy in Tupelo. Found him online in the dark chat scroll. Said he was older than rock and roll. She didn't care if it was true. She just needed someone who knew. Make me eternal, take me tonight. All that glamour, all that fight. I'll trade the sun for your endless night. Make me eternal, make it right. Make it right. Now she waits with the curtains drawn, pale as a static before the dawn. Did he take her soul or just her trust? Is immortality made of dust? Make me eternal, take me tonight. All that glamour, all that fight. I'll trade the sun for your endless night. Make me eternal, make me right. Make me right. Make me right. Make me right.
I just meant, are we going to be brave enough to talk about the existence of queerness and how cool it is, just like vampires? And Tyler said it's the appeal. Vampires are the sexy other. And then we talked about dom sub stuff. And then I said, and same-sex kissing.
Oh my.
That isn't really kissing, but is basically kissing. And then I said, we can skip this convo on the pod. I will try not to get all intersectional feminist about it. And Dustin said, I don't feel like this episode needs to go that deep.
Yes, I did.
Verbatim.
And then he said, if we decide to go that deep, this would be a 20-part series or more. We are talking about vampires. It's stressing me out just thinking about how we're going to have to fit all the stuff we have already into one episode.
Guys, can I just say?
Did say that.
I knew you all were stressing.
Yes, you did. It's right here.
I understand vampires is a huge realm.
No, it's just
and
don't
you guys like to
ignore
zero
Dustin.
in on
Ignore
smaller things. So I appreciate you guys even being willing to do
have,
this.
I shouldn't have read that in front of you.
I don't care. I know what they say.
It was hilarious.
What do we say?
I know exactly what they
I totally
say and
forgot
do.
what she was talking about.
And so I did not research
brought it
into
up.
queerness on vampires because I
Well,
thought
I
to
remember
the whole
talking
Carmilla
about
story.
the back and forth because on the way here, I was telling her, I said,
If I had heard of
I said,
Carmilla,
have you ever
I
heard of
said,
Carmilla?
Yes, I did.
And
And then he goes,
then I go into the thing about how the first
"Do
time
you
I
think
mentioned
she's a
it,
lesbian?"
I said the first time I mentioned it,
And I said, "Well."
I said the first thing out of Sarah's mouth was, "Oh yeah, she's lesbian." And I was like, and then I read it and I was like, I didn't take it that way.
I didn't take it that way. They just really liked each other as friends.
I took it as They're not like that author never like makes it out that it's like they're in a relationship, they're making love, they're doing all that. He doesn't get at that. A special bond between them because she's naive and doesn't know any other kids.
But think about when it was written, Dustin. I hope you're not recording right now because you're getting a lot of sound of me opening a package.
That's all right. I'm gonna go use
Here,
the
do you want to
restroom
smell
now.
it?
You need me out of the way.
I'm gonna go that way. Sorry.
Cool. Let me grab my...
Smells good to me.
Oh, it's very minty.
Yeah, that's what I read. I was like, ooh, I like mint. I can do peppermints.
This way I'm not doing the pee dance again.
Nope.
Oh, yeah. The famous Tyler tea dance.
The tea dance.
Tyler, he'll hold it until he finally gets to that point.
Like, no
where
return.
where he's
if
like,
he laughed, it would.
well, yeah,
come
but
out a
he
little
looks
bit.
at both me and Sarah and goes, like it's like a sudden passion rage, right?
He
like,
gets mad that we don't wrap up instantly.
All of a sudden he gets like, it's like it just comes out of nowhere and he goes, "Listen, guys, if we're not gonna wrap this up."
You know he's going to hear this later, right?
Yeah.
It's still recording.
I love it how sometimes it still records. What was that one episode, Dustin, where you were like, Tyler went
Christmas
inside,
one.
and you were like way close to the mic. He doesn't know. He's probably gonna edit this out.
I didn't think he was gonna.
That was
Oh my
really
gosh,
fun.
It was
That
hilarious.
Was fun. Do you want honey?